whether Asia is finally asserting itself or deciding to assert itself, that it won't be pressurized by Western powers to choose sides between the West and China.
Sort of distinguish between Asia and Asia. And historically, we've not looked at Asia as a full continent, which would include both Japan and Saudi Arabia, frankly.
Okay, West Asia, huh?
Because it is one continent. But we treat them as different political geographies. To answer your question in a slightly different way, I would say that they're different parts of Asia are dealing with the disruption of, shall we say, a fragmenting world order differently. And there are reasons for that. One, I think if we move from west to east, Western Asia, the Gulf, remains very much a matter of concern for the US. And I don't think they're going to choose between US and China in the way that we think countries might have to. Because the US remains the biggest security guarantor of that region because of its relationship with both Israel and with Saudi Arabia. The growing powers in the region being Turkey, being the UAE, Saudi Arabia certainly, and of course Israel, which remains a power even after a couple of years of war. Qatar, all of these are powers that have very, very close ties to Washington and to the US, no matter who the president is. So there's no choice being exercised there. There is an economic choice, yes. There are lots of commentators who will tell you, oh yeah, China's making inroads here, inroads there. China has made serious inroads in Iran. China has made economic inroads, technology inroads in different areas. But honestly, when push comes to shove, everybody looks towards Washington.
Sure.
They don't look towards Beijing. So that's a choice that has been made a while back, and that choice remains. Closer home, Pakistan has gone right back to Washington, in the sense that if we had thought that they would choose between China and Pakistan and America, 2025 has shown that they can and do balance both powers. Both powers being very, very close to Pakistan.
They us with both.
They do that well. No, the thing is, they maintain that relationship well, whether they ass or not.
Yeah, okay.
The fact is, they maintain that relation,
Sure.
and they've done that since the 50s. They have not given up on China. The system, the deep state in Pakistan and the deep state in America, if there is a deep state in both, are completely aligned.
Okay.
Why do they have a similar vision of the region? No. Do they have a similar global interests? No. Do they have other convergences that the US may have with other bigger powers? No. However, they have things that America needs. They are there to support when America wants. And that makes them a useful power. It's always also important to be useful
Sure.
to your benefactors, patrons, what have you, or your bigger partners.
Yeah. And I don't think Pakistan has ever come in under the kind of pressure, say, like a Japan would, or Singapore would, or Malaysia would, as compared to...
They don't have the depth. We have to sort of judge a country by what they can deliver. Pakistan has a security relationship with the US, have always had a security relationship. Whether the current security relationship, in my view, would have something to do with the Middle East crisis. Before, it had something to do with the Afghan crisis. But there is a security element to that relationship.
Which even China does with their CPAC and things like
Correct.
that. It's only
So my limited point is Pakistan makes itself useful to its biggest partners.
Okay.
And so nobody is going to dump
Sure.
Pakistan. So there's no choice there. Move further east and to Japan, to Southeast
let's
Asia.
do ASEAN as a region.
So Southeast Asia and ASEAN. And if you look at the fact that that China has made serious engagement, serious investments in that region. So China is literally their biggest economic, commercial partner and has been for a long time, investments included. China is also a security challenge.
Okay,
Because
South
of
China
its
and-
because
yeah.
of its sort of depredations in the South China Sea, etc. But do they call America? Yes. So say Philippines, for instance, has invited America back into its base. Indonesia Prabowo has gone to America and said, whatever you want, I will put into that trade deal. And the trade deal is very intrusive in terms of the constraining the choices that Indonesia would make. Of course, it cannot go through. And this week, I think the Indonesian political system is pushing back against that particular trade deal. They can't fulfill it. Nobody can. It's too intrusive. And Indonesia is a very old, very large country. Go to Vietnam, go to Australia, go to Japan and Korea. Now, Japan, Korea, and Australia are all military allies.
You're putting Australia also in the Asian bracket.
I am geographically. Whether it's you can call it Australasia, but geographically they are in that part of the world. They are Western, but they're in an Asian part of the world. They are all military allies of the US. There is a limit to how far they can go with China. There is also a limit to how far they can push back against America. We've seen that with Japan. $550 billion as Donald Trump has ordered them to invest in America. Whether they can or not, how it works out, but $550 billion is a lot of money.
Yeah.
And meanwhere,
Are they really going to be doing it, or is it just posturing?
Interesting you said that actually, because we had the governor of JBIC, and who came over to us Ananta, and where we had a discussion, and he was because they are the institution that's going to invest. So there's no timeline. They are, the Americans are giving them projects, but they have to assess those projects, and their assessment of those projects may not be the same as the Americans' assessment.
It's not a bunch of cash which you're just putting on the table and say, lay.
That is exactly how they want it to be. And after the period of the loan, the profits from whatever investment they make, 90% of that of the profits from that investment is supposed to go to the US, and only 10% to Japan. Can any government of Japan live with that? Probably not. But they have also the deepest security relationship with the US.
They compromised on rice, Indrani.
They did compromise on rice.
You can't imagine these traditional.
Yes, but also if you were sitting on that on the shores of Okinawa prefecture, watching Chinese boats coming by, or flying over your airspace every day, thrice a day, 50 times a day, you would want a partner, but given your Pacific history, given your own history, you would want a partner who would be standing up there. And to be fair, America is standing up there. Donald Trump now just wants rent to be collected.
Namaste, Jai Hind. You're watching ANI podcast with Smita Prakash.
अगर हम उसको मस्जिद कहेंगे तो फिर विवाद होगा.
The issue is टूटा है क्या भारत?
400 पार का मतलब ये है कि संविधान खतरे में है.
क्या हम लोग ये निर्देश देते हैं कि फला को गिरफ्तार करके जेल डाल दें?
वही तो कह रहे हैं सब.
ये बेबुनियाद निराधार आरोप.
सच्चा सुनना चाहो देखो स्मिता प्रकाश ANI it does not lie.